it's James with the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, September 5th, I think it is, 2018, and this is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every Wednesday I pick up the boys at least one comic each, usually Gracie a comic as well. Sometimes it's more than one. This week it's definitely more than one. And sometimes I get me a comic every once in a while because I don't read as much comics as I used to. But every once in a while I get one, and this week is one of those weeks. I also got a toy this week. Oh, let me also preface this by saying I get all my comics at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you get comics around the area, try and get them there because it's a cool shop. So, this Star Trek McFarlane Jean-Luc Picard figure. I just got the Kirk at the end of last week, and I was so impressed with that figure that I decided, you know what, I might end up picking up a card. I was planning on only getting Classic Trek out of this line, picking up just like the core crew, but that Kirk was so impressive that when I saw this Picard sitting in the shop, I was like, you know what, I'm doing Picard too. Next wave, I don't think I'm going to get the girl from Discovery, because I don't watch Discovery, but I will get Spock, and I'll probably get two Spocks to make up for the fact that I'm not getting her, because I want to support this line. These figures are so nice that I want more to happen. But I'm talking about this too much. I'm actually going to do a combo review now for the Kirk and the Picard at the same time, since I got them both. And I haven't started the Kirk review yet, so we'll combo that up. Then there was this freebie Hellboy poster that I grabbed for Blaze. It's also, oh man, I didn't realize this. It's got Alien 3 on the other side. He's going to love this. This is like a double dose for Blaze. Hellboy and Alien 3? Man, he's going to love that. True Believers is back. It's been at least a month, maybe 2 months, since Marvel's done any of these True Believers. These are reprints of old books that are only $1 each. And every time there's True Believers, I get the boys the True Believers. Because, man, you can't go wrong with $1 Marvel back issues. This time around, it's focusing on Marvel Knights, as a commenter on one of the previous YouTube videos said that it was coming back from Marvel Knights. And this time it's Daredevil. So all the ones this week are Daredevil books. First is Daredevil, The Man Without Fear, #1. The first appearance of Daredevil by Stan Lee, and I can't remember who did the art on this. Bill Everett, that's who it was. I kept thinking Wally Wood, but Bill Everett was on it at first. Yeah, so this will be fun. The first appearance of Daredevil. I've always loved the yellow Daredevil suit, so this is a cool book to look at again, and they'll dig that, going back and reading the first appearance of Daredevil. So each of them gets one of those. Then there's Daredevil Marvel Knights #1 by Kevin Smith, Quesada, and Palmiotti. I am not a Kevin Smith fan. I've never denied the fact that I'm not a big fan of Kevin Smith. I did, however, really like his run on Daredevil. I thought it was fun. It's where he was kind of this custodian of this baby, and there was a whole storyline that revolved around where this baby fit into things. And the art by Joe Quesada was really fun. I liked this book a lot. I have a feeling that when Blaze reads this, he's going to want to pick up the trade paperback of this series. Look at that art. And I miss Quesada doing actual art. I liked Ash a lot too, when he had that series, him and Jimmy Palmiotti, for Event Comics, I think it was, where they did that series on that firefighter Ash with superpowers. So those will be fun. There's 2 of those. And next up is Marvel Knights Daredevil #1 from the Bendis Maliv run. Now this one, I was hesitant to pick up even. I've never been a Bendis fan. I'm even less of a Bendis fan than I am of a Kevin Smith fan. But, I mean, it's there. It's $1. Like I just said, you can't go wrong. But Bendis is, man, he is talky. Although the Kevin Smith one was a bit talky too, at least there was some cool action going on. This one really seems like I'm flipping through and I'm not really seeing. Well, there's Daredevil, almost at the end of the book. It's $1 though. I'll take it. Next up is Gracie's book. There was a Walt Disney book today, but it was $6 from IDW. It was like a big Walt Disney thing. And I was like, you know what? I can't do that one. It's not. She really likes the duck characters, and it looked like it was more about Mickey Mouse. So I went back through and I was looking at some old Marvel Disney books, and this Little Mermaid #1 was in there. So she'll dig this. This is fun. Fantastic New Fables. She loves Little Mermaid. Trina Robbins, Mark Wilshire. I don't recognize any of those names. Yeah, I mean, this is just an old fun comic. She'll like that. Next up is Blaze. I could not remember what Daredevil issue he was on, and I didn't feel like going through the videos to find out. But he's been talking a lot about checking out the Silver Surfer series that Mike Allred did the art on. And even though the writer is Dan Slott, he's been talking about, man, I kind of want to check out those Silver Surfers, just because he's been on quite a Mike Allred kick. So I went back and I found the first issue that the shop had from the Allred Dan Slott run, which is issue 4 of this first series. I think there was 2 series that they did together, if I remember right. And this one's got the Guardians of the Galaxy in it. Mike Allred does some really cool, quirky artwork. The Surfer looks really neat. I know Dan Slott's writing it, yeah. I have heard this is probably Dan Slott's best effort, though, is the Silver Surfer series. Much better than his Spider-Man books. So that's Blaze. Next up is for Keaton, Venom First Host, number 2. He really, really enjoyed last week's Venom First Host number 1. This is by Mike Costa with Mark Bagley and Ron Lim on pencils this time. That's kind of fun. I've always been a Ron Lim fan. So this is where the original host of the Venom symbiote is coming back. I didn't read it. He really liked it, though. Can't go wrong with some Bagley art, and can't go wrong with some Ron Lim art. There's Ron Lim. I can tell that's Ron Lim. That page is definitely Ron Lim. Oh, this is fun. Yeah. Venom First Host. This may be the best current book Marvel's got going. I don't know for sure, but it seems like, for me, just flipping through it, it looks really fun. Keaton really enjoys it, so that might be the best thing they've got going right now. And last but not least is a book for James, Ghostbusters Crossing Over, number 6 of 8. This is the series that brings together all the different Ghostbusters teams, written by Eric Burnham with art by Danny Schoening. Here's a rundown of all the teams: the Prime Dimension, Chicago Ghostbusters from the Prime Dimension, New Ghostbusters from the Prime Dimension, the Answer the Call Ghostbusters, the Real Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters. I said about the Answer the Call Ghostbusters, but they're actually written well in these comics. I'm just not a fan of that movie. And then the Sanctum of Slime Ghostbusters. So all the Ghostbusters teams crossed over together. That's what the series is all about. That's why it's called Crossing Over. I'm not going to show you too much of it because I don't want to spoil anything. But there's only 2 books left after this one, 7 and 8. And I don't know what happens to Ghostbusters. Hopefully another series starts up. That's what they usually do. But I guess we'll see. So that is it. Bunch of comics, a toy, a pretty fruitful day at the comic shop. As always, if you guys have any recommendations, you can leave them in the comments section below. If you like our videos, please hit like and subscribe, hit notify, you know the stuff. So until next Wednesday, or until I get the review up for these Star Trek figures, I'll see you guys next time.